snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I am here today to do my July TBR. I'm very excited about July. I have a lot of really awesome buddy reads planned. I've also got a lot of exciting books planned. A lot of them are new releases, so that should be really, really fun. I'm going to whiz through all the stuff I'm currently reading. The first one is this. It is Natural World. It is a visual compendium of wonders from nature in the Curiosity series, and it's put together by Amanda Wood and Mike Jolly, and illustrated by OWEN DAVEY. This one is super exciting so far. I am about a third of the way into this, really enjoying it. Non-fiction, illustrated, hardback book all about nature. The next one I'm already reading is Africa 39, which is a collection of various authors from south of the Sahara, and I'm about a third of the way into this one as well. I am liking it so far, but not loving it, which is why it's taking me a bit longer to get through. Some of the stories better than others, so we'll have to see how it continues, but I'm hoping to finish this up this month. The next one I'm reading is one I picked up a couple of months ago, but I never really got anywhere with it. I got about a third of the way into it, and then I accidentally left it here whilst I went back to uni, so I never actually got anywhere with it, and I am now back home, so I can now pick it up again. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one sporadically over the month and hopefully finishing it up. We'll see, it might bleed over into next month because this is heavy non-fiction about the Romanov family. It's really well written so far and I'm really enjoying it, but it is quite a heavy topic, so it will take me a little bit longer. Unlike the next book that I'm reading, which is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, I am joining in with Gatsby Gab, which is a read-along being hosted this month by Chelsea from The Reading Outlaw. I'll link her announcement about that and you can go join in. It runs throughout the whole month, I think, and it's just going to be a really fun read-along where you can just read Great Gatsby. I've never read it before, although I have seen the film, so I'm very intrigued to sort of see how the book shapes up. I am about a third of the way into this, so I'm hopeful that I can finish this one because it is only 115 pages. The next one I'm reading as a buddy read, and this one is one I'm listening to. It is The Flames of SHADAM KHOREH. It is the third one and final one in the Lays of Anuskaya series, and I am reading this with my friend Jackie, who is a subscriber. She's lovely and we've done buddy reads before for the previous two, so we wanted to continue that by reading the third one. The next one I am already reading is Juliet Marillier's Daughters of the Forest. This one I'm reading on my Kindle. I'm liking it. It's a bit of a slower beginning, so it's taking me a bit longer to get into, but I'm about 10% of the way through now, so things are starting to pick up and I imagine it's going to get quite dramatic as we get to sort of the halfway point onwards. The next one I'm reading I have actually started, but I've only just started it. I'm like 20 pages in, yes, so not that far. This is Hope and Red. It's by John SKOVRON, and this one I'm doing a buddy read of with Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book. I will link his channel. We haven't done a buddy read in a while and we both picked up this book fairly recently, so we wanted to read it together and I'm very excited to do so. Michael and I tend to have quite similar tastes, so hopefully we'll both enjoy it. So far it's interesting, but as I say, I'm only 20 pages in, so that is not very much to judge the whole 600 chunker off of. The next one I have is The Countenance Divine, as you can see on the spine. It's by Michael Hughes. It's supposed to be a sort of historical, fantastical story. It's quite short, so I don't imagine it will take me too long once I really get going with it. I'm only a couple pages into this one so far, but I like it so far from what I've read. Again, I can't judge the whole book off of that yet. The next one I am reading is this lovely one, which is The Geek Feminist Revolution by Kameron Hurley. I really enjoy Kameron Hurley's writing when she writes fiction, so I'm very intrigued to see how she does with non-fiction. This is a collection of essays all about being a geek, being a feminist, and bringing a passionate voice to that, I believe. I'm quite excited to dive into some of the essays. I've already read the introduction, which was fun enough, but I haven't read any of the essays yet, so I will be doing that super soon, and hopefully reading these throughout the month to sort of keep me motivated and positive. I've heard really great things about this. Smoke by Dan VYLETA. This one is coming out this month. In fact, I think it actually comes out on the 7th, so it's very soon coming out, and I would like to get a review up fairly soon after it comes out for you guys, so obviously I need to read it. I'm reading this with Mercedes and Simon and Jean and Tanya and Jen, I think, so quite a few people. It should be a good little buddy read and I'm very excited to give this a try. The next one I'm reading with Chelsea, and this is Among Others, and it's by Jo Walton. I've heard great things from Elizabeth about this one. She said it's really a book focused on books, so there's a lot of references and exciting stuff thrown in, and Chelsea seems to be enjoying it so far, so I cannot wait to dive in and read this one, and Mercedes actually bought this copy for me for a present, so all of them seem to like it. I hope I do as well. And then in the month of July, Eleanor and I have somehow decided that we have a lot of the same books on our shelves that we want to get to super soon. So we're going to do a kind of week-long extravaganza of book reading, basically. It's going to be our own mini readathon. So we have quite a few books to get through, and the books we're going to be doing in that week-long extravaganza are NEVERNIGHT, which is by KRISTOFF. This is the first one in his new series. It's quite a chunky one, but I think I'll get through this quickly because I really like KRISTOFF's writing and I think he's excellent fun. We also have The Sparrow by DORIA Russell, and I'm actually going to be reading this with, I believe, Jackie and Mercedes as well as Eleanor, so this one should be a good one. This might be the first one we start with. The next one I have is a book I haven't actually hauled yet, so sneak peek into my next haul. This is a book I got. HURN, Emperor of the Eight Islands. This is a new HURN book. I absolutely loved the Tales of a Tory series, which is by her. I have it somewhere up there on my shelf. You can't see it, but I have it. She writes sort of oriental fantasy and I really love it, so I'm hopeful that this one will be a really good story. It's a lovely book cover. I mean, look at that. Shiny and beautiful. And I think I'm also reading it with Tracy, so that should be fun. The next one I have is Sleeping Giants. This is by Sylvain Neuval, I think, and I am very excited about this. I've heard good things from a lot of people and I've also heard bad things from a lot of people, so it seems a little bit of a divisive one. I know that Lauren just recently picked this up, one of my best friends, so she'll probably be joining us for this buddy read, and I'm very excited to read it together, and hopefully Eleanor, Lauren and I will enjoy it and have some good stuff to say about it. The next one I have for Eleanor and I to read together is this one. It is The Demon King by CINDA Williams-CHIMA. I haven't read this series by CINDA Williams-CHIMA. I read her YA series, or at least the first book, and I wasn't a huge fan, but I've heard much better things about this one, so I'm hopeful that I'll like it. I know that James from James Chatham really likes this series and really likes this author. I think it's fairly sort of classic high fantasy, so I'm very much in the mood for that, as you guys always know. Moving on to the book that I will be reading with Amanda, whose channel is Amanda J. We are planning a buddy read together of actually 2 books, but we're going to start with the earliest written, and that one is this. It is We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. I don't know if I said that right. This is supposedly the first dystopian. It was the inspiration for 1984 by George Orwell. It's quite a little short one. It's a classic. Looking forward to this one. Once we read this one, we are going to go on to this one, which is Brave New World. I'm not sure if we'll get to this month. We might push this one into August, but we're going to be going on to another sort of dystopian type one after that.
I also almost forgot to mention that I want to read Sinners by Pat Cadigan. You may have seen that we recently launched a podcast called The Magical Space Pussycats. I will put a link to the video announcing that and to the first episode of that if you want to go check it out. But our first pick for the Magical Space Pussycats podcast is going to be Sinners, and it's a cyberpunk, so that should be a whole new realm of adventure.
And then, because I don't already have enough books, I actually want to throw in a few for myself, just to see if I can get them read. They're not buddy reads, but why not? Hunters and Collectors by SUDDAIN, which comes out this month, so I want to get it read this month. I don't know if it will happen, but I would love to. And this is all about a crazy, wacky food critic place where if you break the rules, you get into all sorts of trouble. Sounds pretty cool. Very excited, really enjoyed the other book by SUDDAIN that I recently read, which is Theatre of the Gods, so I'm hopeful about this one. And the final one I have is an ARC copy. This is And I Darken, which came out really recently, I believe, and it's by KIERSTEN and it's about a young lady called Lada Drakul. It says it's pitched towards a feminist Game of Thrones for a YA audience, so we'll see, we'll see. Those are all of the books I'm planning on reading. I don't know if I'll get to them all. I probably won't get to them all, but you never know. We like to aim high on this channel, and equally I might change some of these for other books if other stuff takes my fancy. It happens like that. You guys know your readers too. So do let me know in the comments below what you guys have been recently reading. If you've read any of the ones I mentioned, let me know your thoughts. If there are any you particularly want me to read, then do leave me comments about those and I will try and get those read before so that I can put up reviews sooner for you guys. You'll also probably notice that over the next few days I will be having a lot more reviews going up on my channel. This is because I've somehow managed managed to get almost a month behind with reviews, which is pretty bad. So I'm going to be uploading a review in the evening UK time. Just want to try and catch up with the reviews. That is it. That is my July TBR. I would pick up the books and show you, but I can't because there's so many of them. So I'll insert the picture of me doing the thumbnail. Shortly after I did that, they all collapsed and fell over and it was quite a disaster. One landed on my foot. So I hope you guys appreciate the pain I went through to get that for you. Thank you all for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.